I just wanted to do a budgeting video. I am trying to make more videos that are more kind of about what I'm currently into. And so when I first started my channel, I was literally like all about hair and gaining weight, nutrition, workouts, and stuff like that. But I'm pretty much at a good place with my weight. I would like to gain more, but like I'm at a good place. And in my actual personal life, I'm like really into planning and my budgeting and things like that. And so I wanted to start doing monthly budget videos and just show you how I do my budget. Right now, the planners that I'm using are my A6ology. And this was supposed to be more of a journal, but I like bullet journaling. So it's kind of both. And I could do a flip if y'all are interested in any way. But it's my planner slash journal right now. And I'm also using this Hobonichi Weeks. And I haven't done any flips of this, and I have a cold, so I'm sorry if I sound crazy. And I also am using my iPad Pro as a planner for work. So let's get into the video. What I typically do at the beginning or at the end of each month is go to month, and I'll go to my bills for the previous month, and these are my numbers, so you know. And the only thing I like crossed off are bills that are not necessarily directly my bills. Like, I mean, mortgage is my bill, but I mean, your mortgage or your rent is gonna be different, so whatever. And my phone bill was kind of high last month because AT&T tried to play us, y'all. So they charged us, like, so we did a trade-in for a phone, and they sent the phone back and charged for it. So my bill was like $500. That's not a typical phone bill, so yeah. But after I do that, after I review last month's bill, I'll either make a list or I'll do like this. And this is my February calendar. And so I went through and I put washi tape down so that I can pull it back up when I'm done. But I just wrote out all the bills from last month's list. And that kind of helps me make sure that I don't like forget anything, because my bills are pretty constant, except for like I had to pay our trash, and that's a quarterly bill. Then in February, I have to pay my car insurance. So that is not an every month bill either. I pay it up for 6 months. So, and then after that, I will flip it on over to the next page. I like to do my budget right behind my monthly view because it's just what I like to do. I pay bills, you know, throughout the month, so it just makes sense for it to be right here instead of mixed up in my weeklies or my dailies or whatever. So kind of cute, kind of encouraging. So last month I have I wrote January, and then in my Mildliner I wrote finances. And then I have a sticker from the Happy Planner sticker kit that I have, or a sticker set that I have, and it just says do more with less. And I thought that was pretty accurate because I'm trying to do big things with less money because I don't want to overspend. Sometimes I use my little label maker also instead of writing it out, which I tried to do, and it looks like it's like running out of ink, which I didn't know I had to buy ink for it. I thought you just bought the little tape strips, but guess who was wrong? And so I am still going to use this though, because I don't care that it looks kind of faded. It's whatever. So I might decide later to take it up, but right now I'm just gonna do that. And sometimes I'll split my bill up, so my bills up. So me and my husband get paid on different days. So he gets paid like on the last day of the month and on the 14th of the month, and I get paid on the 8th of the month and the 23rd. So unless the 23rd is a holiday or a weekend, then I don't get paid until whatever that next day is. So sometimes I'll say, like, if he gets paid on the end of the last day, the 31st, I would count that as the first. So he gets paid a day early because of where he banks. So he would typically get paid on the 1st and the 15th, but because of where we bank, he gets paid a day early. So I still count that last bill for the first of the month, and that's what I pay those bills with. And so my budget isn't very it isn't really a budget, it's more of a bill pay schedule, because there was a point where I had so many bills that it was like, I'm gonna just pay whatever. I can't really budget for extra because I have so many bills. Like, I hope I have enough to buy some groceries, you know? So I just kind of put all the bills that I had and I split them up however the money would be split. Sometimes that means, or meant, still kind of means, because sometimes I still pay stuff early. Sometimes I meant paying stuff early or saying this check is going to go for this, or whatever, but it's not necessarily a budget just yet, just because. But my bills have gotten significantly lower. Like last year, my bills would have been more than just one of these pages. We had car notes, we had a significant amount of credit cards. We had a lot of bills, so I paid down so much stuff, you guys. So I'm hoping my videos can help someone if you're trying to get into budgeting and paying off debt and things like that. Plan to do it kind of differently and just split it up into different like pay periods, but for this month I'm just going to show you how I did it last month, and then in March we'll do it differently. So like I said, right after the month we have that. After I look at last month's bills and write a list or whatever, or put them on the calendar as I did here, I will go through and, how do I have it? Get my mild liner to mild liner and then write, because if you write it out and then outliner, you will likely smear you're doing. This actually is bothering me more than I thought it would. Let's see if I can take it up. Some issues. So these pages are like massively thin in this particular type of notebook, and that's really so that you can get so many pages. Like this is like a whole year of pages, so that's kind of what it is. And so what I did last month, I'll just do that here, and I just write finances. And it might have bled through because I tore some of the page up, and it kind of did. And that's really only because so much of the page came up with when I took that sticker off. But I'll just write Feb. Then I'll start listing. So after I write these things out, I will, hopefully my head is not in the screen, but I will go through and just write the bills down. So the second bill I've actually already paid. It's due, I don't actually know when it's due. Some of my bills, I kind of make my own due date for whenever it's more convenient for my pay period. So my second bill, I think it's due like the 8th or the 20th. I don't know, but I pay it when it's more convenient for me on a check where like I have not as many expenses. So that's where that goes. And then a lot of my bills I try to get ahead in payments. And I also make my own like amount due. So I try my best not to make the minimum payment. Like if the bill is $32, then I'll probably make it like tell myself it's $50. And that's not following any method. I know sometimes I try to do Dave Ramsey and all of those things, but I don't know. Sometimes there's not a method. Sometimes I just want to pay $50 for something, especially, or I want to pay a certain amount for something, especially if it has a high interest rate. So if there is no interest, then I might pay like $0. I mean, not $0. Ooh, child. I might pay the minimum if I have a bill that's like if I had a credit card and there was only $300 left and I had an extra $100 that month, then I'll pay whatever the payment is plus the $100, if that makes sense. So, but when I write it down on my budget, I write it down like that's the amount due. And so you just see me going back and forth, flipping through just to write down the different bills. Some of the bills you'll see will have like no amount next to the underneath the dollar sign thing. It'll have no amount because some bills like my electricity, my water, and things like that, it fluctuates every month. So I just leave that space there, and then when I get the bill, I go ahead and fill it in. And I know my hand looks mad crazy when I write. I know. I don't know why I write that way. I've always written that way. I remember learning how to write like vividly. I don't have that many memories from when I was a child, but I remember being in school, learning how to hold a pencil, learning how to form letters and things like that. And that's always how I've held it. So don't be coming at me in my comments talking about your hand looks crazy. Trust me, I know. And I'm going to just like skip some of this because, I mean, it's not much to see, just me filling in stuff. Okay, so after I write out all my bills, that's what it looks like. And like I said, I used to have so many more bills than this. Like, I've come a long way in like 3 years. But at the bottom, there's also a spot where I put total. And so I just like to keep track of my total expenses for each month. That's something I just started this year in 2019. So, yes. You'll also see that for my student loan, I made 2 student loan payments because I'm really trying to be aggressive with my student loan payments this year because the interest is ridiculous. So I'm trying to make as many payments as possible. So I'm starting off just making 2. So I make the actual payment that's due, the $251.41, as you can see on there, and then I will make an additional payment. Last month it was $100, and so it just depends on how this month goes. On the other side, I just threw down some stickers because, like, I mean, if I look at this page almost every day, so it might as well be kind of cute, right? So now I'm just going to remove my little washi tape because it's not cute. So this is it, my blank canvas of a calendar. And then that one little last thing I left on there is just reminding me that I'm going to have to pay a daycare bill before I actually get a paycheck. So I'm going to take that washi off and then I'm just going to write it in because that's important. It's important for me to remember that I'm not going to get a paycheck, but I'm going to have to give somebody almost $300, right? So that's not something I want to forget about and be surprised. So I just wrote it in pen so it's not in that crazy green washi tape. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching my February Budget With Me video. Like for more budget videos. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.